Well, today is October 24th, and this is part 62 of our study of the ministry of Jesus. Remember, we've been studying the events in Jesus' life and not his teachings. So now we've pretty much covered the 3 years of Jesus' ministry, and we've come down now to the last week of his life. And it says 6 days before Passover. Now, Passover, remember, is, well, Jesus will be crucified the day before the Passover meal. We'll talk about that later. So 6 days before Passover, we find Jesus in Bethany again. Remember, Bethany was the hometown of Martha and her sister Mary and their brother Lazarus that Jesus raised from the dead. So Martha invites Jesus over for a meal, and Jesus comes. Now remember, in those days, they didn't sit in chairs to eat like we do today. They reclined. They rested on their left arm and ate with their right hand. And it also says Lazarus, the brother, was there. And a lot of people came to see Jesus, but also a lot of people came to see Lazarus because he had been raised from the dead. He had become a celebrity. So they came to see Lazarus as well as Jesus. Now, they didn't come in to eat, of course. They were just gathered outside the house where Jesus was. So while they're eating, in comes their sister Mary with a box of ointment. It's spikenard or pure nard. Nard was from the sap of a tree and was very aromatic. Someone described it as the smell as being delicious. So it was a very good smell. And she took this ointment that she had and she smeared it on Jesus' feet, anointed his feet with it, and then took her hair and wiped his feet. What a beautiful picture. Now someone always has to complain, so here comes Judas Iscariot. And he says, what a waste. Why would you do this? This ointment could have been sold for 300 pence or 300 pennies, and a penny was the wage for an average working man. So you're talking about 300 days' wages worth. This was expensive ointment. Now, I've never understood why, when her brother Lazarus died, which was before this, why she didn't use this precious ointment on him, but she saved it for Jesus. So Judas Iscariot said, why wasn't this sold and we could give it to the poor? And the Bible is very clear, he said that not that he cared for the poor. He didn't care anything about the poor. But, now listen, he was a thief and bear the bag. Otherwise, he was the treasurer. He kept the money. He paid the bills. But he was a thief. He didn't care anything about the poor people. What he wanted was to sell it, put the money in the bag so he'd have access to it. Judas was not a saved man. Jesus said he was a devil from the beginning. Now then, if one of the 12 apostles turned out to be an unsaved man, would it be any surprise to us that people in our church would turn out to be unsaved? As careful as we are, sometimes they come in and they do what Judas did. They complain and gripe and want to know everything's wrong. Instead of encouraging, they discourage. Why? Because they're not saved. They complain about the pastor and everything he does and on and on. Anything to thwart the work of the church. Now then, Jesus replied to Judas and said, leave her alone. She has done this for my burying. He's looking forward to his death. He said, the poor you have always with you. You can help them anytime, but I'm not going to be always with you. And you got one chance right here to do this to me. And she did it. So Mary, what a precious person to come and do this for Jesus that day. Now there's another incident that's very, very similar to this. And it has to do with a woman and spikenard and all. And so we'll look at that tomorrow. But today, Mary, sister of Martha and Lazarus, anoints Jesus' feet for his burial. So until then, I hope you have a fantastic day today. God bless you.